Hello friends, welcome to RA.MU. It is all about politics. India is surrounded by troubles, grave threats. On one hand, the Pakistan, we all know the kind of problems we have been facing from Pakistan, and China. China has been a big threat and a big competitor in the market, and they create a lot of nuisance alongside the borders. And Sri Lanka was in turmoil, and it is slowly limping back to normalcy. Maldives, the change of guard there shows some kind of positive indications for India, but more or less we are surrounded by all issues. Nepal and Bhutan are also having internal issues, and they look at India as a big brother. In this scenario, we have another problem, a big headache in the form of Bangladesh. Bangladesh has been a close ally of India for a long time. Bangladesh was created with the help of Indian government, and we have been great friends for a long time. But all of a sudden, Sheikh Hasina had to face the heat, and she had to flee the country, and she is taking asylum in India. When we look at Bangladesh political scenario from communication and public relations angle, we feel very sorry for it. At the outset, August seems to be the worst month for the Bangabandhu, father of the Bangladesh, Mujibur Rahmanji's family. On August 15th, 1975, his family was brutally murdered along with Mujibur Rahman. 18 of his family members were brutally murdered by the military. Luckily, Sheikh Hasina and her sister both are abroad. That is why they are now alive. India was magnanimous in extending asylum support to Mujibur Rahman's family, and Sheikh Hasina and her family took shelter in India during the crisis. And later on, she went back to Bangladesh and reconstructed the entire Bangladesh. Bangladesh has been doing great in financial terms and social terms. But there was an attempt to eliminate physically, the Mujibur Rahman's entire family was eliminated physically. Now there is a concerted effort to eliminate the family politically. Five-time Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina had to flee the country amidst protests from the students. The issue that ignited is reservations. The reservation policy brought out by Mujibur Rahman after Bangladesh separation from Pakistan was good till the freedom fighters enjoyed the fruits of reservation, but the problem has begun when the reservation was extended to the family members of the freedom fighters, and later on it was extended to the grandchildren also. In this entire scenario, I find some public relations blunders from Sheikh Hasina. Number one, when the protest was on, it got intensified in the month of June and July, when Supreme Court gave a ruling that we have to revive these reservations. Sheikh Hasina failed to disassociate herself from the Supreme Court judgment. That is the problem with these the so-called dictators, those who have power for about a decade or so. They bend the rules, and they make all the wings of the government to dance to their tunes. Same is the story in Bangladesh. Bangladesh judiciary was in the grip of Hasina ji, allegedly in the grip of Hasina ji, and the Supreme Court's judgments are seen as Hasina ji's judgments. That is the situation. When you play with the judiciary, when you control the media, in crisis condition you are in trouble. Bangladesh is the biggest example for all the rulers who carry the notion of ruling over the countries for decades together. So at that point of time, the first PR blunder was to allay the fears among the students that reservation policy will be implemented in toto. Hasina ji and her PR machinery should have given a clear indication to the public that we are there to safeguard the interests of the youngsters. You don't have employment opportunities, and you don't have much many private companies to coming to Bangladesh to start their business. In such scenarios, youngsters rely heavily on the government jobs, and Hasina ji failed to give them an assurance that their interests will be protected. That is the biggest thing, biggest blunder. She should have given an assurance to the entire public that we are there to safeguard the interests of the youngsters. The second thing is the usage of words. In PR, we all know that usage of right word at right time, right point is very, very important. Hasina ji failed miserably in this front. In a press conference on July 14th, she committed a biggest blunder, the biggest blunder of her life, by using the word Razakars. We all know who are living in Hyderabad and Telangana, they know the impact of Razakars. Razakars were the Nizam's army who committed a lot of atrocities. Similar kind of notion Bangladesh people were carrying. Razakars supported Pakistan army when the liberation struggle took place in Bangladesh. In a press conference on July 14th, Hasina used Razakars, the word Razakars, loosely and paid a heavy price. In response to a question, Hasina dismissively remarked, if the grandchildren of freedom fighters don't receive quota benefits, who will? The grandchildren of Razakars. It is an avoidable word. Since she used the word Razakars, the students and opposition parties and some of the elements against her in army used the word Razakars. All throughout the demonstrations, students were saying that we are Razakars, we are Razakars, and we are Razakars. When the word was misrepresented, misused by the students, and a certain sections of media were using the word Razakars, she should have come up with a clarification. The PR missionary's main task is to give clarifications, to give right direction. By the time she didn't even respond on that. That is the impact of the power. If you have an absolute power, you are an absolute anarchist. It actually proved to be real in Hasina ji's case. So the word right usage at right time, the second biggest PR blunder. Third, when she had to flee the country, there was an ample opportunity for her to address the nation. She failed to understand PR professionals' job is to give feedback and alert the leader. Their PR machinery should have given that alert, but she failed to understand. Before taking an helicopter to land in Delhi, she should have addressed the nation. Now, she should have given a color that people are not understanding me properly, and these are the things I want to do. I am for Bangladesh and I stand by Bangladesh to prevent the loss of lives. I am going to Delhi and I will be back. She didn't do that. I was told that she didn't have enough time to address the people. Communication is very important. That is the third biggest blunder she committed. Fourth blunder, after coming to Delhi or somewhere in India, she should have released a video. I don't know whether she released. I have not seen a video of her giving clarification. When all opposition parties and students leaders are blaming you as the villain of Bangladesh, you should protect yourself by giving your argument. A counter argument is the important element in crisis management. She didn't do that. And fifth one, instead of she talking, her son sitting in USA is talking for her. That is another issue. people get enraged when the person, the in charge, is not responding and she is adding fuel to the fire. His statements are also provocative. Hasina's son sitting in America initially said that my mother doesn't want to come to Bangladesh. That is the statement allegedly given by him. It is wrong. He immediately gave a wrong interpretation to the entire scenario. And later on, he went back to say that she will come back. So, communication is an issue. Family members should not do communication for the leader. PR professionals should do. Journalists will do. Generally, journalists would do. But these dictators have the habit of crushing media freedom, press freedom. That is why they lose the entire ammunition to come to your support. And I am wondering why Hasina failed to establish her own influencers or media outlets to talk on behalf of her. Nobody is talking about her. Nobody is actually raising their voices when Bangabandhu's statues were brought down. This is another biggest problem. When you have power, you go crazy and you don't understand the systems and you fail to rely on the proper systems. I can tell you that in many ways, public relations mechanism of Hasina has failed and she should have done better. Had she used the mechanism well, she should have fared better and things would have been in a different shape by now. But one thing is very clear, Bangladesh developments are a grim reminder to the people, the leaders who think that they can do whatever they want by controlling the government machineries, especially media. It is the biggest lesson one can learn from Bangladesh episode.